Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Bashim Shabrakatah to the brothers. Shalom, Yahushua Alatah Ba'ashem Yahushai to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana, where we teach that all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people according to the Bible. I'm Priest and Officer Itazum. I'm going to be holding the class down until Captain Gadalhar gets here. So before we get into any other breakdowns, there's some things that I wanted to go over today. So one very big problem that our nation, right, Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we have this idea of being biracial, or we have this idea of colorism. And it has caused so much division within our nation, man. It's ridiculous. Even to this day, I mean, it's 2022. We got plenty of other things going on, but for some odd reason, we still have things like, oh, you're too dark, or you're too light, or you're not Black, or you're not Hispanic. Well, I'm here to break some things down for you real quick. So before I go into anything, let's see. We'll talk about a brother that we all know of, right? It's King David, right? King David is a very, very, very famous brother in the Bible, right? King of Israel, right? From the tribe of Judah. Now, I was discussing it with some brother earlier, some fake Israelite, as if that matters. But the point is, this brother did not want to accept that Hebrews can be of a lighter skin tone naturally, right? That's the problem right there. Now, I know it's typical to think that, okay, let's see, I'm from the tribe of Judah, correct? So I look like your typical Judite. I'm of a darker skin tone. Now, some brothers and sisters may think that, okay, well, all Hebrews are supposed to be dark skinned, which is false. There are some brothers and sisters in the Bible who are of a lighter skin tone. So if I could real quick, let's see. We're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 42. So this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 42, and it says, "And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance." Now, this is a term that some people might not know of. What does ruddy mean, right? What is ruddy? I don't think too many people know of that term. Now, you can go into the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, and we're going to look up what the term ruddy means. So in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, it says the definition of ruddy: a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. Now, what is this saying about David? At this time, it's David. It's not King David, right? It's before he was anointed as king. It's saying that David was a light-skinned brother. Now, how do you know that, right? How do you compare ruddy to light skin? Well, let me break it down for you. What is a term I know all black people know this one. What is a term that black people use for a light-skinned woman, a light-skinned sister? What's the term that we use? Some brothers may say yellow bone. Some people might say mulatto. You might just stick with the typical light skin. Or you also heard the term red bone. If that's not good enough for you, okay, what's that? The football team, right? That has our Gadite brothers and sisters as the symbol, which is racist as hell, Slovakia. What do they call them? The Redskins. Red in this context is just meaning someone of a lighter skin tone. This is what brothers and sisters got to understand. You got to get out of that colorism. There's a lot of colorism going on amongst our nation, and it causes so much division. And you could thank that to your oppressor, right? Willie Lynch gave specific instructions on how to make a better slave. Some of those things consist of turning the man against the woman, turning the woman against the man, right? Turning the old against the young against the old, and also turning light skin against dark skin. The whole point was to look for any type of indifference within our communities and pit them against one another. Now, I know some people might try to say, I don't know why you would say this, but some people might try to say that David was mulatto, or some crazy stuff like that. But according to the Bible, King David was from the tribe of Judah. Who is Judah? Judah is the so-called Negroes today, or as you would like to call them, African Americans, which is historically accurate anyway, because we're not African. Africans are the Hamites in the Bible. We are two different nations. But my point being is King David was a light-skinned brother. That's it. All right. So right there and then, one of the most famous brothers in the entire Bible, other than King Solomon and of course Yahushua, Mashiach, or Jesus Christ as you would know him, he was a light-skinned brother. So that just shows that we come in many, many different tones. Also, if I could, we're going to go to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. I'm going to show you right now that there is no such thing as being biracial in the Bible. That's another form of confusion that our oppressor has made us have for generations, again, pitting us against one another. And this is why it's so important to be with your people. So we're going to go to the book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And it says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, Salakia, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls." Now, the one you want to focus on right here is by the house of their fathers. We talk a lot about lineage in the Bible, correct? Lineage is a very important thing. Now, how do you identify if you're an Israelite? Simple. If your father is an Israelite, if your father is Mexican, which is the tribe of Issachar in the Bible, you are Mexican. If you are Puerto Rican, which is the tribe of Ephraim in the Bible, your father's Puerto Rican, you're Puerto Rican, right? Now, here's where things get a little messy. What if a black man sleeps with a white woman, has sex with that white woman, and has a child with her? Well, first and foremost, that's a sin, and God forbids that, right? For those of y'all who don't know, the Most High flooded the earth because of interracial marriages. Okay, that's the whole reason why Noah had to build the ark in the first place. King Solomon, even though he was a great brother and one of the wisest brothers in the Bible, sadly, that brother fell to strange women of another nation. The Lord forbids that. Now, if you do sleep with a strange woman, that child is still an Israelite. Put it to you like this. If I have an apple, and the apple has seeds, correct? And I take that apple seed and I put it in the ground and I nurture and water and grow it, make sure it has plenty and plenty of sunlight. What is that seed going to turn into? It's going to turn into an apple tree. Let's say I take that same seed and I put it in China. Is that apple seed going to turn into an orange tree or a lemon tree or a pineapple tree. No, still going to be an apple, right? Because the seed is what passes on. Matter of fact, to give you even more importance of the lineage, right? And that the seed comes from the father, we're going to go to the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew, we're going to start at the beginning, chapter 1, verse 1. Now, right here it says, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, or Yahushai Mashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Verse 2, it says, Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. Now, the whole point of me going over this is to show you that there is a lineage. Christ came from the lineage of David. Christ is a black man according to the Bible, right? That false image that y'all see, that white boy in them blackity black churches that y'all love so damn much, that's a white boy. His name is Caesar Borgia, and he was a homosexual who also committed incest and had sex with his own sister, whose name was Mary. And I know a lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters love to worship the Virgin Mary. No, that's false. Okay. My point being is, though, Jesus Christ came from a lineage, from the seed of David's lineage. Also, we're going to bring it back even further. Where did the 12 tribes originally come from anyway? Jacob, whose name was later changed to what? Israel, right? And he had 4 wives. Now, notice how we're called Israelites, all right? We're not called Salakia Rachelites or Leahites. Those are just naming 2 of the 4 ribs that he had, right? The seed came from the father. He passed it on to 4 women who were his ribs, and of those women that he passed his seed on to came the nation of Israel. Now, why am I going over this? Salakia, it's important to know who you are as a people. The term biracial does not exist in the Bible. There's no such thing as being mixed. There's no such thing as being mulatto or whatever it is that people like to make up nowadays. The reason why I'm going over that is because I notice there's a lot of brothers and sisters today who still have an identity crisis. Some brothers and sisters feel like, well, I'm not black because, even though my dad's black, but my mom's white, so I'm only half. I see all the jokes on social media all the time making fun of our brothers and sisters, right? No. If your father is an Israelite, you are an Israelite. You are a Hebrew. You are one of God's chosen people. Now, the father can pass on the seed. You understand? The mother cannot. Now, brothers shouldn't be messing with a strange woman anyway, obviously. That's a sin. But for a sister, it's even more detrimental to you because you can't pass on a seed. If a woman, let's say it's a Salvadorian sister, right? Salvador would be from the tribe of Zebulun in the Bible, right? And let's say she decides, for whatever strange reason, she decides to get with a Korean man. You understand? She gets with a Korean man. Guess what? That child is not going to be Salvadorian. It's not going to be a Zebulonite. You understand? That child is going to be Korean. Now, that baby might look like you, sis. I get it. And I know this is hard for some sisters. That's why I'm trying to educate y'all real quick. Sisters need to understand this because I get it. It's your baby. I understand. You carried them around for 9 months. You birthed them. You fed them as a child. You nurtured them, breastfed them, taught them how to read and write. I get it, sis. Even though that's your baby, sorry to tell you, according to the Most High, that's not your nation. You understand? That's not your nation. And that is very, very, very important to understand because the man can still pass on the seed through a woman. But sis, you just ended your entire lineage. That's it. You might be an Israelite, but your child's not going to be an Israelite. You see? And because of that, you got to stay away from strange men. And brothers need to stay away from strange women anyway, regardless if you can pass the seed through them anyway. Because Solomon, let me put it to you like this. This is King Solomon we're talking about, right? King Solomon, the son of David. You understand? His name Solomon, which is Shalamah in the Hebrew, which means peace, because he ruled in a time of peace. This was a very, very wise and powerful brother, right? He prayed for wisdom from the Most High. Sadly, that brother fell off, right? He fell off because he decided to mess with who? The Moabites. The Moabites would be the so-called Chinese today. The Ammonites were the so-called Japanese today, and also messed with Hamites, who are the so-called Africans. Again, we're not African. Blacks are not African. You understand? And because of that, even King Solomon himself, as mighty as he was, fell victim to strange tale. You understand? He turned away from God. That's the whole reason why the Most High does not want you to mess with a strange woman, because it's going to turn you away from them. All right. Matter of fact, speaking of interracial marriages, if you don't believe me, I'll use some celebrities for an example. I just got a notification today. What's that sister named? Eve? Salakia. I was shocked. I don't really keep up with celebrities like that, but I didn't think Eve, of all people, she would get with a white boy. Little did I know she got a whole white husband and they had a child. And little does that sister know that child, even though, yeah, it's her child, that baby's an Edomites. It's Esau, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And she gonna learn when that baby get older, sadly, right? That ain't good enough for you. We can talk about Kanye West. Kanye West, I mean, good night, man. Look, it seemed like every brother that messed with the Kardashians, who are strange women anyway, they always end up going crazy. Something always a little off with them. Kanye was already kind of on the hinges as it was, but then, he got with Kim K and Salakia. That brother, look, that brother's suffering. He's suffering. All right. And I know Hollywood likes to paint this image of glitz and glamour, like, these celebrities and these idols are so great and you should follow after them, right? You should be like Kanye because he's rich and famous and talented, right? And he is still a brother, but that brother don't follow the law. That brother doesn't follow the law. He got with a strange woman, chose to wife up a whore, because that's exactly what Kim Kardashian is. Remember, she got famous off of an adult's sex tape. You understand? The whole world done seen it, right? And he damn near took pride in that. A lot of times in Kanye West songs, you hear about him bragging about, Kim K and, she got famous off a home movie and all that garbage. I forgot what song that was, Salakia, but the whole point was it seems so appealing. You understand? But guess what ended up happening? That brother ended up suffering in the long run, and it's all coming out now. I believe the brother, he came out with a new song. It's called Easy. It's with The Game. And, I listened to it. I'm not really too fond of Kanye West as far as what he's about, but he is still a brother nonetheless. I wish the best for him. I pray for him, as I pray for all of Israel. But I listened to the song, and I'm just hearing this brother's pain. This brother's talking about all the things that were going on behind the scenes, behind the cameras, behind the facade that he was putting on, trying to make it seem like his marriage was all good when it really wasn't. Because if you listen to the song, he talks about how, things were going well with Kim. His children, that's the big one. His children weren't listening to him. Remember, Kanye West is a brother. He came from the ghetto just like all of us. He's from Chicago, ain't he? Right? Look, I've been to Chicago, Slovakia. I'm not from there, but I've been to Chicago, and it's rough, as all our hoods are rough. San Bernardino, I don't know if y'all can hear the sirens outside, but it's rough out here, okay? That brother came from the ghetto just like the rest of us, just like Christ did. And even though he chased for that money and he got Kim K, the end was still bitter. Slovakia, if I could, hold on. If I could, just one moment. Let's see, actually, we're going to go to Proverbs chapter 5, verse 4. Just to show brothers that you shouldn't be messing with no strange woman, man. It's not worth it. Because if King Solomon himself fell victim to it, what makes you think you're not going to fall victim to it? This is King Solomon. And Salakia ain't a lot of brothers today are nowhere near as wise as Solomon. You understand? So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 4. And it says, actually, no, you know what? Before we get to verse 4, we're going to go to verse 3. And it says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Honeycomb is sweet. You understand? She knows how to talk to you. She knows how to make you feel good. You know, it seems so alluring. You know, a lot of brothers today, you know, they come up out the ghetto and they feel like they great because, take it. And Slagi, if I could, I'm going to pass the class to Precinct Officer Ashkawar.
Let me get Isaiah 58 and 1. You have any questions, Doc?
There was one question. I have to find it. I'll get to that.
I swear.
You said 58 and 1.
Come on.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
The Bible says to cry aloud and spare not. You understand? Meaning what? We need to what? We need to cry aloud. We need to speak this word of the Most High and spare not. Spare not how you feel about it. Keep going.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
And we need to speak this to everyone who is so-called Black, Hispanic, and American Indian. That's why when you see us at camp every Saturday on Hollywood Boulevard, we're out there what? Crying aloud, sparing not. Keep going.
And show my people their transgression.
And what we're doing is we're showing the Most High's people, we're showing Black, Hispanics, and American Indian people their transgressions. We're showing you and telling you that you are sinning against your God. You understand? We're telling you that you are the real biblical Jews. And people say that we hate them because of that. People say that we are a hate group because of that, when that's actually love. What we do isn't hate. What we do is real, authentic love. You understand? When we tell you you need to stop being gay, stop living that lifestyle, whether you're male or female, that's love. Because what's the consequence of that? HIV, AIDS. You understand? You're gonna die. Well, when we tell you that you need to stop smoking weed, that's gonna save your life from lung cancer. When we tell you to stop sleeping with another man's wife, that's gonna save your life from a man killing you because of what you're doing to his woman when he's not there. So what we're not doing is not hate. What we're doing is showing true love to God's people, to our brothers and sisters. Now, Joe Biden isn't showing you love. Donald Trump isn't showing you love. The governor of California, wherever you're at, he's not showing you love. He's not showing you any consideration. You understand? The Virgin Mary isn't showing you, the Virgen de Guadalupe isn't showing you love. White Jesus isn't showing you love. Christianity doesn't show you love. Your pastor, the Catholic priest, the Pope doesn't show you love. The Pope didn't want to apologize for what the Spaniards did to the Aztecs. That's how you know he don't love you. You understand? The Virgin Mary can't show you love. She doesn't tell you, she doesn't give you direction. She doesn't tell you to stop doing this because it's wrong. The Christian pastor doesn't tell you to stop doing this because it's wrong. And that's why we love those religions. That's why we love worshiping statues, because they don't tell you your wrongs. They don't chastise you. And what people love, especially right now in America, is to live a life without being told that you're wrong. When we lift up our voice like a trumpet and spare not and tell you your transgressions, you get mad because we tell you abortion is murder. You say that we hate you when we're showing you love, because what comes with abortion? Breast cancer, depression, suicide. What I'm saying is facts, right? That's facts. You understand? Now, that being said, man, let's go to Proverbs 3:31. We show love in the ISUPK. This is a love group. We don't hate our people. We don't hate Black, Hispanics, and American Indian people. We absolutely love our people, man. And we're hated because of it. We're hated because we truly love you. You gonna get that up?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And we only tell you what God tells you. What we speak is what the Most High is saying. We're not speaking our own words. We're not doing this to take glory for ourselves, to glorify ourselves. We're doing this because Christ died for us, man. Christ died for us to get a second chance at a new life.
Right.
Because before this, we were what? Smoking weed, stealing. We were selling drugs to our people. We were sleeping with our brothers' wives. And according to God, that's a sin. You're supposed to be dead for that, but you're not dead. You're still alive. And Christ died for those sins. And now you have a new chance. You understand? Now you have a new chance at life to live the right way, to truly learn how to serve God in Christ and get a second opportunity at life. You understand? And the thing you need to do is what? You can't get that opportunity following the ways of the oppressor. You understand? God doesn't want you to live the way he lives. He doesn't want you to follow his way. Because following his way is the result of following the oppressor is what you see today. We're smoking weed, getting high. You understand? We hating each other. And what is it? Choose none of his what?
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. You understand? We're not supposed, like I said, we're not supposed to be living like our oppressor. Keep going.
Verse 32. For the forward is an abomination to the Lord.
For the froward is an abomination unto the Lord. Look up that word froward for me. A lot of us say that we love God. Black and Hispanics and American Indians, we love God, man. We believe that we love God. We're the most devoted people to religion. You understand? We love God. We're devoted to this Bible. But Paul said, I see that they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. We have zeal, but we don't have the right knowledge because we're in those Christian churches. We're still Catholics. So the knowledge that we have about God is not true. You understand? Go ahead and read it.
Forward, out of the Merriam-Webster, a habitual disposed to disobedience and opposition.
To what?
Habitually disposed to disobedience and opposition.
And that's us. That's all I need right there. And that's us. We habitually disobey. We habitually disobey. So when the Lord says, envy not the oppressor, we envy the oppressor. When the Lord says, choose none of his ways, we choose his ways. And that's why the Lord is saying he hates the froward, because he knows we are froward. We are disobedient. We don't want to obey God. Now we're going to pass the class over to Captain Gadalhar.
That drink over there. 2 minutes. You got any questions online? 1 second. Y'all got questions online? Just ask them now, Baba Kishore. I'll take questions in the room in a second. Cross out, you got any questions?
This is the one that I texted you about. This week.
Oh, okay, just from last week. Which one do you say? Oh, okay, Con. Yeah, I didn't get to that one. Damn. Okay. Yeah, Salaki. I'll get to that one. All right, no, so let's get to this, right? Let's do the second part of what we talked about last week, and then we'll go into Valentine's Day, which will be the topic. And then we'll get into that, all right? Azam, you got any questions, all right? Hey, shalom, brother. What's going on?
I did have one. It was in the book of Esther. I just need a clarification.
What's going on?
It was Slovakia. I have to get there for you real quick.
Okay. You got any questions, Oscar? Go ahead, hit me with it.
So my question is, in the book of First Kings, 17 and 18, I'll pull it on my phone too. First Kings 17 and 18, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Salaki, Second Kings, sir. Salaki.
Come on, let's go. What's
Second
good,
Kings,
Go ahead.
2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the class of a brother breaking this down, and he was saying that Christians use this verse to say that God turned his back on Israel permanently. But that's not true, right? That's not what it's saying here.
Permanently?
Yeah, like he turned his back from Israel, so now they say now everyone can be saved.
No. Wait, so the brother broke down and said that. Okay, hold on. Say it again.
A brother in the school,
Mm-hmm.
he brought this verse out to show that Christians use this verse.
I don't even know Isaac. I don't even know Isaac. Nah.
He was saying that Christians use this verse that to say that the Most High, when he says, and remove them out of his sight,
Mm-hmm.
To say that the Most High turned his back on Israel. So because he turned his back on Israel, now all the other nations can be saved.
Oh, okay, I got you. That's what Christians use.
So that's what they use. Because
I never heard that before, but they use a lot of precepts. You know what I mean? But I never heard that one particular. You know what I'm saying? But I can see how they can say that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so but this verse isn't saying that, right? I mean, obviously.
No. He said the house of Judah. I mean, except for the tribe of Judah, right? That was still in there, right? The tribe of Judah was still in there, right?
It says there was none. There was like it says at the end of the verse there was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you keep going, it says that Judah also disobeyed.
Yeah, that's true. If you go down to 15, it talks about how they rejected the statues, right? Right. So that's what they all did, and the Lord threw them away. You know what I mean? Because they broke the old covenant, so He had to make a new covenant. You understand, right?
I also wanted to ask: is there? I didn't have time to kind of look for it, but I was wondering if there was a precept in the Old Testament that shows that the Most High never turned his back on Israel. Because I went to the New Testament, and the only one I could think about was Hebrews 9:15.
That the Most High never turned his back on Israel. Let me think. That the Most High never turned his back on Israel?
So to cut, if a Christian did use this to say, you see God turned his back on them, is there a precept in the Old Testament?
Oh, in the Old Testament?
Yeah,
yes. Jeremiah. Oh, in the Old Testament, I can cut it. Shoot. I'll pull two let me pull these two real quick. Let me get Jeremiah 12:9 and Jeremiah 17:4, right? Let's get those.
I have Jeremiah 12:9.
Okay. Let me go ahead, read it for me.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 12 and verse 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
No, okay, hold on. That ain't the one. Try 9 and 12.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 9 and verse 12. Who is the wise man that may understand this? And who is he to whom the mouth of the Lord has spoken?
No, that's not it. That's not it. 1 second. You read Jeremiah 17 and 14.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise.
That's Jeremiah 17 and 4? 17 and 4?
Oh, that's 17 and 14.
Salakia.
Salakia, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
So now that's what the Lord is saying, right? He's discontinuing from the heritage. Why? Because what? What we do?
We disobeyed him.
Right, we broke the law.
Right.
That's what you want to go into. We broke the law. So you want a precept that shows that he didn't turn his back on us, right? In the Old Testament. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head. But give me Romans 11 and 2. I'll give you one in the New Testament for sure.
I'm thinking about one. I can't paraphrase it, but I know I heard it before. It was Romans, what's it?
11 and 2.
The book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 2. God hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias?
Yeah, there you go. Let's find that one. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
How he maketh intercession to God against Israel, saying, verse 3, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. Verse 4, but what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Find that precept. That's in the Old Testament. I think that's Ecclesiastes 7 and 25. Try it 25. Go ahead.
What was that precept right there?
That was Romans 11 and 2. And then give me Jeremiah 30 and 31.
So you said Ecclesiastes 7 and 5?
7 and 25. Try 20. Start at 22.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 22. For oftentimes also thine heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others.
Keep going.
Verse 23. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said I would be wise, but it was far from me.
Go ahead.
Verse 24. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? Verse 25. I applied my heart to know, and to search, and to seek out wisdom, and to reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. Verse 26. I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands.
Keep going.
Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. 27. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account. Verse 28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found.
Go ahead.
Verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
Keep going.
Chapter 8.
That's it. Let me think about these precepts real quick. There's for sure some in the Old Testament. I just can't think of none on the top of my head right now. All right? Go ahead out.
7,000.
Yeah, where's that at?
1 Kings 19 and 18.
Okay, 1 Kings 19 and 18. Just one brother out. One brother.
Can you read it, sir?
Go ahead out. One brother.
1 Kings 19 and 18.
Uh-huh.
Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him.
That's a good one. He can use that one for sure. All right. Get the brother to precept when he come back. Hey, shalom, Mark. Keep going. Read it again.
1 Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel,
Mhm.
all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him.
Right, kind of. You want that? You would want that just to show the loyal soldiers, loyal men in Israel, all right? Okay, that's cool. I'll come back to that one. Any other questions? I just
So like I said, I was reading Esther, and there was one verse that I just wanted to make sure I was reading it right. So it's the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
So
Esther 4 and 16.
come.
Go ahead.
So it says, "Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan,
Mhm.
and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king,
Okay.
which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish." So when I was reading through this, I know many times Esther, they say that if you don't follow the king's commandment, I know the king at that time was, so I can probably butcher the name, it's King Ahasuerus, something like that.
Yeah, he's a heathen. Yep.
And he was the Medes. And
Yeah, Persian and Medes, right?
So in this context right here, when Esther is saying, "And so will I go in unto the king," I know previously it was if somebody goes into the king's, I believe it's the chamberlain, without his permission, that he had the right to order for them to be killed, or he can raise up his scepter and
Yeah.
they can, come in. But when she says, "When I go in unto the king," because she was his queen at the time, is she talking about going into the chamberlain, or is she talking about having sex with him?
Having sex. That was her husband.
So, okay. So I guess my question is, so when it says, "And so will I go unto the king," which is not according to the law, she's talking about the law, not the commandment that he's talking about, right?
Right. The law of the Lord.
Okay.
Because like she knew that having sex with him is a sin. But she also, you know what I mean, was in that life already, right? He chose her. But in that, she did the right thing by looking out for her people. You get what I mean? Go ahead.
That was already husband. So
Right.
They were already having sex with her.
Kind.
Okay. Okay, so like that was my question.
No swear. Any other questions? Go ahead.
If I could just get a breakdown on 2nd Esdras 1 and 24, I seen this post where Israelites in the world, they said other nations, heathens, and Gentiles means other Israelites,
Okay.
and like they use this verse like basically saying like it don't mean that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just want to see if you can break this down for me so I know what this precept is saying. 2nd Esdras 1 and 24. "What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob, thou Judah? Would it not obey me? I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes."
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep going, sir.
Where's the question at?
My question is that basically it's just I'm asking for a general breakdown on this precept.
Okay, read again.
2nd Esdras 1 and 24. "What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou, O Judah, wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes."
And your question is what?
I'm asking like, what is this precept saying?
Okay, go up to the part where it says I'll change you into another name.
It says I will change you into another name.
Is that what it said? In the very verse part of the precept?
It said I will turn me to other nations.
I would turn me into other nations. Okay, where you at right now?
2nd Esdras 1 and 24.
2nd Esdras 1 and 24. Give me 2 verses up.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord. I'm just like a 2nd Esdras 1 and 22. Thus saith the Almighty Lord, when ye were in the wilderness in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water and made the river sweet.
Go ahead.
What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob, thou, O Judah? What is not obey me? I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. Seeing you have forsaken me, I will forsake you. When you desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you.
Keep going.
Verse 26. Whensoever ye call upon me, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, sir.
Yeah.
Verse 27. Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord.
Okay, this kind of goes into this brother's topic too, Oscar Ward's topic, right? The Lord is threatening them just like he threatened Moses. Remember when he threatened Moses, right? He said, I'll make these people Mosesites, just something like that, because people were disobedience against the Most High. So in that, he threatened to seek out another nation, but he did not do that. You get what I mean? That's all that is. But he never dealt with any other nations. No heathen can use that to try to say that the Lord, loved them or whatever. You know what I mean? But I can't say this is Gentiles because we're not in the New Testament. All right. Solid. Any other questions? You got a question, not? Go ahead. Hey, did you get that cat's card number, Oscar? Have what? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the cat that did the rug. The cat that did the rug. You got his card? You got his number? You got to call him back. All right. Go ahead. No questions? Oh, sweet. Any other questions? All right, solid. Let's get into the topic then. Where did we leave off last week? We were talking about women. Yeah, what precept did we leave off? Y'all remember? Hold on. All right, let's go to Romans 7:1. Romans 7:1. All right. This is part 2 of what is a woman's role. We went over Ecclesiasticus 26:2, Genesis 3:16, 1 Corinthians 11:3, Ephesians 5:22, Ecclesiasticus 36:24. Now another precept in Ecclesiasticus as well, I believe. And then let us go to Romans 7:1 now. All right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Right, you understand that, right? The law liveth forever. As long as you live, the law is installed, right? And you can get Tobit 4 and not Tobit. You get Tobit 4 and 1 in the Apocrypha. Tobit 4 and 1 in the Apocrypha, if you could.
Tobit chapter 4 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
In that day, Tobit remembered the money which he had committed.
It's like that ain't there. Where's that one in Tobit where he says the law is in you forever? That one. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, pick up where you was at, Romans 7:1. Yeah, start from the top.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Right, the law has dominion over you as long as you live it. Man meaning mankind, meaning everybody. You understand, right? Every Israelite. Go ahead.
Verse 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he liveth.
It's important, right? You got to understand that. Valentine's Day coming up. You can't sleep with another man's woman. Right? When a woman doesn't get what she wants in the world, sometimes she'll find it from another man, attention, you know what I mean, anything. You get what I'm saying? So you cannot sleep with another man's woman. You cannot do that. That's against the law. That's against the scriptures. You get what I mean? And it's not only unlawful in the sense of it's in the law, but it's unbrotherly. You understand, right? You don't want to do that to a brother. There's so many women out there you can have to yourself. So many single women out there you can have. You don't need to have another man's woman. You understand, right? Keep going.
But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband.
Right, y'all remember we went over this last week then, right? Right. He says, when her husband is dead, then she's loose. Now she's free of the law, and then she is able to remarry. You understand? She can marry again. She can marry any brother that she wants to. You understand, right? So now we can drop that. Give me 1 Corinthians 7 and 10. Give me Proverbs 9 and 13, Karazazar. Yeah, give me that first.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord.
Right.
Let not the wife depart from her husband.
Right. Another part, right? Listen, what do you have in a marriage, right? You have in a marriage two people who love each other, right? Two people that come together. Let's say that. Let's take away the word love. Love could be strong. Two people that have sex, right? You understand, right? Sex is marriage. You have sex with a woman that's considered marriage to the Most High. So you have two people that have sex with each other, and now to the Lord they belong to each other until they die. You understand, right? So he said, read it again.
Come. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord.
Right. The Lord is commanding it. Why? Because he knows that when you have sex with a woman and you guys become one, now it's real. It's a real thing now, right? There's no leaving each other. You understand that, right? That's one thing you got to tell each other if you're in the truth. You can be mad at each other. You can be unhappy. One of y'all, both of y'all can be depressed, whatever. But there's no leaving each other. There's always constantly trying to work on your relationship and knowing that there's no getting out the car. You understand? You got to stay in that car, right? You got to stay in that car. No matter how dirty the car gets or how broke down the car gets, just think about a marriage as fixing the car. That's how you got to think about it, right? This is your car, and it's the only car you can have, right? According to marriage, meaning you can't throw this car away. You understand? So you get the car, and what goes wrong with the car? So first you got your brakes, right? You got brake problem. You got to fix the brakes. Then you have give me some more. Give me small problems. Go ahead. You got to change the oil, right? You got to change the oil. Your sensor might go out, right? Your light might go out, right? Those are small problems, and all those small problems you fix, and big problems might come, right? Like a radiator, right? You got to fix your radiator. That costs a little bread, right? You got to spend some money for a radiator. Then you got to give me a fuel pump. What's that? Fuel pump. Fuel pump might cost some bread, right? And then, goddamn, then the transmission blows. So when a transmission blows, what happens to most cars? Junk them. You got to get rid of the parts and try to scrap the parts, get some bread if you can. Most people don't give a damn. They just get rid of the car, period. But the Lord say you're not allowed to. You understand, right? You got to go get a new transmission or try to fix that transmission. So during that time of your marriage, it could be bad for a little bit. It could be bad for a time. Transmission take anytime you get some money, right? It can be 2 weeks. It can also be 2 years. You feel me? It can sit in that car. It can sit in that driveway for about a year until you get some bread to actually want to fix it. So just think about that's marriage, and that's what the Lord means. You cannot leave each other. You get what I'm saying? So you got to work on that marriage, constantly work on it, constantly, and keep fixing. It's ever evolving. You get what I mean? So you got to think about a marriage like that. Both of y'all always ain't gonna be happy. Marriage is really about being unhappy for the right person. You understand? That's what it really is. It's about being unhappy for the right person. It's about just think about having kids. It's having kids is a good thing, but having kids ain't always happy. You understand? People that your brothers that have kids, they ain't always, you want to do things, but you can't because you got kids, right? You got to sacrifice for these kids. Now you're unhappy for your kids. That makes sense though, right? Because you brought them into the world. They didn't ask to be here, right? So you got to be unhappy for your kids if that makes you unhappy. But it ain't all marriage. What I'm trying to say is marriage ain't perfect, but marriage constantly got to get worked on, and it constantly has to because the Lord said you're not allowed to divorce. You understand, right? So in the man's role, you make sure that you put that installer into your woman because a woman might feel weak. A woman might feel like she needs to start over. Some women will never leave you. There's some women that got something in them. They're like, I'll never leave my man. And then there's other women who constantly want to leave. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to try no more. They rather just give up. So what depending on the type of woman you have to put in her mind there is no leaving. There is no breaking up. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna break up with you. That's worldly. And here ain't none of that shit happening. You understand, right? Question.
I got a quick question, sir. Okay, so when you got, like, say you have a brother has multiple wives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually, in one mindset, you know, a brother will go, if you see he's going through a tough time with this woman, he'll just go be with the next woman. Now, where does the negligence become wrong?
Well, if he's having so you talking about if he's dealing with one woman and then instead of dealing with those problems in that marriage, he goes and be with his other wife. Okay, the negligence comes in. Okay, if you have multiple women, you could go be with another woman, but if now is a woman being it depends on how the woman's being too. If she's being evil, then that makes the man want to leave. But if there's issues in the house and you just leave, that's negligence. You get what I'm saying? She's not being evil. It's the situation that is hard to deal with. And you're like, man, I'm out of here. That's negligence. That's not dealing with your issue at home. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So you should always like how you were talking about the transmission, the car sitting in the driveway for about a year. You should always be working on fixing the problem.
Always. It's something that we don't like doing. Men don't like doing it, but you have to do it. You get what I'm saying? It's easy to be like, I'm always like, what can we do to fix this? You get what I'm saying? What do you need? You know what I mean? You got to come together. You got to compromise in a marriage. You feel me? Got to compromise for each other. I mean, you got to sacrifice some things. She got to sacrifice some things. So you would just try to problem solve the thing. Really. You get what I'm saying? What can I do? And sometimes it's reasonable things. You're like, you know what? I could do that. And sometimes it might be very unreasonable. You're like, I can't do that. You feel what I'm saying? So it depends on it. And you will make the right judgment depending on how just you are. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's important to be a just man. You get what I'm saying? Because if you're not just and you're selfish instead of selfless, then that's more reasons why you can't keep your marriage together. You get what I'm saying? Any more on that?
That's it for verse 10.
Okay. Now drop that. Give me Ecclesiasticus 26 and 24. Yes, I did. Wait, yes, I do. Hey, what's your name, Mike? Gerald. You want to drink anything? You good to go? If y'all want to get a drink, y'all get down. I can. You'll read that for me. Yeah.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous.
Now, if you have a foolish woman, she's clamorous. What does clamorous mean? Go ahead.
Would it be like haughty or conceited?
You always want to look up if you don't know, right? Always look it up so we can break down what a clamorous woman is to the definition, right? I got it right here. Making a loud and confused noise, right? And some of our sisters can be very clamorous. You get what I'm saying? They can be very loud. They can really be confusing. You get what I mean? Saying whatever comes to their mind or out their mouth, right? So read it from the top again.
Proverbs 9, 13.
Mm-hmm.
A foolish woman is clamorous.
Right, a foolish woman is clamorous, right? It's a fool. It's a foolish woman. Go ahead.
She is simple.
What's a foolish woman mean? Like, what does a fool mean biblically? I design.
Someone who they just don't want to listen.
Not necessarily. Kratza.
Someone who goes against the law.
No, not like that. But that is. I'll take some of that. That's not to the definition. Nazar.
It's just someone that just doesn't know anything.
Okay, it's someone who doesn't know how to make decisions. That's what a fool is, right? Someone who's foolish as a person who can't make a decision, right? So when they say it's a foolish woman, this is a woman who can't make decisions. You get what I mean? Go ahead.
A foolish woman is clamorous. Mm-hmm. She is simple.
She is simple. She's simple. Simple means she's simple. She's stupid. She's not wise. If you can pull that for me, Oscar Ward, when the Lord said he deprived the woman of wisdom, find that for me. And I'm gonna break that down. Go ahead.
And knoweth nothing.
And she knoweth nothing. Go ahead.
She sitteth at the door of her house on the seat in the high places of the city to call passengers who go right on their way.
That's good to go. But really, this is calling people out. This being a drunk, being a dumb, a fool, a dummy, right? So now, if you look at it like this, right, what clamorous and foolish, that's a lot of our sisters. And what does that woman need? A man. You feel what I'm saying? That's why if we out there battling, we speaking, Facebook, whatever, and a woman argues with a man, I automatically assume she doesn't have a man. Because a woman with a man wouldn't argue with no other man. You feel what I mean? Not a woman with a man, right? Not with a woman with a righteous or a head. You feel what I'm saying? If you were a man and got a woman out there arguing on Facebook or in these streets, and you're her husband, that's a shame on you. Because you're not teaching this woman. Isis. There it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't have your woman embarrassing you. You know what I mean? You don't want no other man to check your woman, do you? But if you're not checking her, someone is gonna check her. You feel what I'm saying? You got that out score? Go ahead.
The book of Job, chapter 39 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Because God had deprived her of wisdom.
The Lord deprived the woman of wisdom, right? Wisdom is what? Somebody look up wisdom real quick. Wisdom in the Bible, it's like in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Because women aren't uneducated. You get what I mean? If you go look at the number one class of people that's graduating college, you're going to see black women. Go ahead.
This is the definition of wisdom
Mm-hmm.
in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Right.
Ability to discern inner qualities in relationships.
Go ahead.
Or good sense.
Good sense. You lack good sense. Go ahead.
Or good judgment.
Or what?
Good judgment.
Y'all understand, right? The Lord deprived her from sense and judgment and good judgment. What it is. So how to make a what? Decision. You understand? Wisdom comes with, knowledge of the scriptures and knowledge of life. And women are smart, but they are deprived of wisdom. You understand? That's what the Lord said. Read it again from the top.
The book of Job, chapter 39 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Because God had deprived her of wisdom. Neither hath he imparted to her understanding.
And neither has he imparted to her understanding. The Lord took that from her. Why did he take that from her? So you can give her that. So you can make her decisions. You understand? That's what he wanted. That's how he wanted to be set up. Y'all understand, right? Good to go. Give me where was we at? Ecclesiasticus, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
A dishonest woman committed shame.
A dishonest woman committed shame. She's gonna be shameless, right? You don't want a dishonest woman, a woman that's a liar, a woman that's sneaky. You get what I'm saying? A woman who wants to hide things from you. You feel what I'm saying? Like you don't want that type of woman because she committed shame. Go ahead.
But an honest woman will reverence her husband.
That's what you want. You want a woman that's gonna respect you. You know what I'm saying? Not because you're telling her to respect you. You shouldn't have to tell someone to respect you. They should just respect you. You get what I mean? If you have to tell someone to respect you, it's because they don't respect you. Y'all understand, right? A woman who sees you as a man of God, she's going to respect you. And that's the type of woman that you want. You want a woman who is going to respect you. You know what I mean? Good to go? Solid. Let me get 1 Corinthians 14 and 34.
First Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
13. You said 14 or 13?
Salakia. 14 and 34.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14 and verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Say it again.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Meaning what? Can women ask questions in class? Yeah, absolutely. Right? Y'all understand. They can absolutely ask questions. They can get counsel. What is this talking about, though? Not that.
Talking about like they shouldn't teach.
Yeah, that's it. They should be quiet in this, though. They should not trying to tell you what that precept means. You understand? Don't ever allow any woman to do that. Not any woman, your woman, and not no woman in the world. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're trying to put her in a box. Some Christian you trying to battle some Christian. Let her speak so you can cut the dog shit out of her. You understand? That's what you want to do. Cut her to pieces. Let her talk as much as she wants to. So you can The number one rule in battling is using someone's words against them. You know what I'm saying? Let them say something, and then you say it back to them, so you can cut them. That's why it's important to listen to what someone's saying as well. All right. Go ahead.
Like I said, while we on the topic, I believe it's in the book of Ecclesiasticus,
Mhm.
when it says like, sit not at the seat with another woman, but a married woman. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, pull that. It's Ecclesiasticus 9:9. And you want to bring that up for what?
I remember you saying in the beginning of class about Valentine's Day coming up, and
We'll get to that. Pull that for the Valentine's Day breakdown, all right? And then also, I score if you could, right? I'm gonna have Nazis I read. I score. Look up the two cats who started that in the Greek in Greek military. The two cats that started. Just look up who cut out whose heart and gave it to his lover. Just get those two names from me. We're going to the Valentine's Day breakdown, all right? We'll go into that. And then also look up Eros, and Cupid. All right. 1 Corinthians 14:34. One more time.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Go ahead.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
You understand? It's not permitted. They haven't given the authority. They don't have the authority to speak, right? Who else doesn't have the authority to speak? I just perfect, right? A trooper. A trooper can't speak. You understand? Women think it's just all about men and men. No, brothers can't speak either until they're allowed, until they pass their officer test. Speak meaning teach. You understand? That's what the point is. Speak meaning teach. The trooper cannot teach. I remember when I was a trooper and I was passing out flyers, and some cat came up to me and tried to ask me about the Bible, and I told him I'm not allowed to teach. Told him straight up like that, right? I'm not allowed to teach. I got to pass my. I haven't passed my test and became an officer. No one was there. It just beat me by myself. You get what I'm saying? And somehow, Captain Zariak found out that I said that to him. I said, "How did you find that out? Ain't no camera was out or anything." And he showed me a tape where this cat went to a fake Israelite group and said that about me. And I said, "Damn." That's how the Lord works. You get what I'm saying? So you're not allowed to teach until you pass your officer test, and then you're not allowed to never teach again. You understand? That's the point. You got to be quiet, and then you have to open your mouth forever. You understand? All right, no sweat. Keep going. At the end of 35.
We're still on 34.
Go ahead, Salaki.
But they are commanded to be under obedience.
They're commanded to be under obedience. Women are commanded to be under the obedience, right? Of the brother in charge, of the brothers in the school. Go ahead.
As also saith the law.
As also saith the law. Go ahead.
Verse 35. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
Right. If they want to learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. When a woman comes to class and she's married, she has the permission of her husband to come to class. You understand? Her husband gives her that permission to come to the class to be taught. You know what I mean? Or some brothers will be like, "I'll teach you. You stay home." You understand? Let them learn from their husband at home. It depends on what the brother wants. Go ahead.
For it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
It's shameful when a woman wants to come in and teach the Bible. You know, that's shameful. And that's why the Christian church is destroyed. You understand? Because it's shameful. There's a whole bunch of abominations happening in the Christian church. And that's why those things happen. Like children getting molested, right? The pastor is stealing everybody's money. You know what I mean? These things are happening because you're going against the Bible. You understand? A woman is up there preaching and she's on her period. You feel what I'm saying? That's what be happening in them churches. We good to go? All right, no sweat. Give me a second. 1 Timothy 2:11. Let me know if you got it, I score.
I'm still looking for it.
No sweat.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Go ahead.
Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach.
But I suffer not a woman to what?
To teach.
Y'all understand that, right? The Lord doesn't suffer a woman to teach, man. That's not her job. You feel what I'm saying? Her job ain't to teach. That's a burden that's not upon her. That's a burden for us. We go teach, not a woman. Go ahead.
authority over the man.
Not or to usurp. You know what usurp means, Artisan?
It's like you, like pretty much you try to get authority over somebody. Like you're forcing your authority over somebody else. I can look up that.
That's it. No, that's it. So if a woman was like a woman in America, she usurps authority over men all the time, right? You have a you in Esau's military. You ever have a woman who's over you? You get what I'm saying? That's usurping authority. When a woman police officer puts cuffs on you, that's usurping authority. When you have a woman judge giving you a judgment on your case, that is usurping authority. You understand? That's what the Lord doesn't want. He doesn't want a woman to usurp authority over men. Go ahead.
Come. Over the man,
Mm-hmm.
but to be in silence.
Go ahead.
Verse 13.
But to be in what?
But to be in silence.
Man, give me this precept by Isaiah 3:16 in the Old Testament. Go ahead, keep going on.
Come.
That's what. Hold on, let me break this down. And that's important. The Lord is saying a woman needs to be in silence, man. Like a quiet woman is a good woman. That's a mystery. Somebody pull that. Did we pull that yet? A silent and loving woman? No. Silent and loving woman. Let's read this and then we'll get to that.
You want me to just keep going, sir?
Yes, keep going.
Come. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Because Adam was first formed, then Eve. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 14. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
You understand, right? Adam wasn't deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. She was wrong. Right? The Lord wants women to be silent, right? Be silent in these schools, in these churches. Now, when you get home, you can talk your husband's ear off. That's what you can do. But in here, be quiet. You understand? Be quiet. Ask your question. Do your thing. Talk with the sister. That's fine. But what is he saying? Don't try to teach a man anything. I mean, like this. Don't try to teach this man his Bible. That's what you can't do. Y'all understand, right? Don't be loud and don't be clamorous. Don't be like your sisters in the world. Sisters in the world are very much like this. At least the ones they put out there like that, right? These are like Love and Hip Hop, right? Black women watch Love and Hip Hop and they start to grab that demon off the TV. I'm trying to tell you, that is a demonic show. You feel what I'm saying? They want to go be like these sisters because they like, yeah, look at her being, expressing herself and her anger. Because women feel like that. Women are very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they call you're a lion. They lionesses. You feel what I mean? They're very aggressive. Go ahead. Any more?
Let's see, that's it for verse 14.
Go ahead.
I didn't find a solid and loving woman, but I found this other precept that shows what women should be.
Hold on, let me find it real quick. Ecclesiasticus 26:14. Find out for me. Read that for me if you could. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Lord Christ, you get my text? Can you check the text and if you could do that for me, Lord Christ. All right. Go ahead, read it for me.
Ecclesiasticus 26:14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Y'all heard that, right? Read it again.
Ecclesiasticus 26:14.
You hear the brother, he did the precept again, so y'all make sure y'all don't forget. Ecclesiasticus 26:14. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
You understand? There's nothing so much worth than a mind well instructed. What is your mind? What is your instructed as? Hey, just be quiet. You know what I mean? Be quiet. Be quiet. Does this mean don't talk? It doesn't mean don't talk. You can talk. Women can talk. You're permitted to talk. That's for sure. Damn sure. But there is a time where you should be quiet. Who else do we tell this to? Say it again. Kids. I was gonna go a little further. Who else do we tell this to? Isaiah?
Just like
Yeah, any brothers who talk too much, right? You could be an officer. You might talk too much. I want to work on that. You get what I mean? You know when you talk too much because everybody look at you like, damn, you brother talk a lot, right? And then someone will tell you like, hey, try not to talk so much. And you're like, oh, damn, okay. Jeremiah Muhammad was just going over this, right? About talking so much, right? Yeah, you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be a brother who talks so much. You want to be a brother who, if you're gonna talk a lot, say something with substance. If you're gonna talk so much, sometimes you're talking and you're not saying anything. You're just making noise. You get what I mean? So it's not just to women, but the topic is women. You should be silent and loving, right? Any more? That's fine. Go ahead.
Read it.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 26:15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace in her content, in her
Content.
Mind cannot be valued.
Right. Content.
Content mind cannot be valued.
Is it content? Is it CONTNT?
It's a continent.
Oh, her continent or consonants?
Continent.
Consonant.
Like CONTINENT.
Continent. Look that up. That might be her face. Might look that up for me. And read again that.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. In her continent, mind cannot be valued.
And her continent mind cannot be valued. Yeah, shamefaced is a double grace, man. Like you got sisters, man. Like you got some amazing sisters in the ISUPK. Don't never get it twisted. You know what I mean? And then there could be these are just warning signs of how not to be, and if you're coming in here, how you should be. You get what I'm saying? These sisters will talk and laugh and have a good time. And that is perfectly fine because we talk and laugh and have a good time. But everyone knows there's a time where you might have said too much. You get what I mean? Where you are talking way too much. And now you're not a joy to be around. That y'all understand, right? There's a time when you stop being a joy to be around because of your mouth. Right? Go ahead, Adam.
So I looked up continent, but it was showing like an actual continent, but then it showed continents. So it says the ability to retain about, well, that's not the right one, but it says self-restraint.
Self-restraint. There you go. The self-restraint, self-control. We'll take it, all right? All right, solid. Any more? All right, let's get to Titus 2 and 3.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3. And the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as become holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
Right, y'all heard that, right? That's what a woman should be, teaching of good things, not giving too much wine, not false accusers. Go ahead.
Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at the home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God may be not blasphemed.
Y'all understand, right? That's how women should be, man. And then it goes on to tell you how the aged woman can teach the young women some things. You know what I'm saying? They could teach them how to love their husband, how to be good women, keepers of their home, right? All these things are in the Bible, and that's what you can be for an older woman to a younger woman. How to teach her how to be right. Perfect. Okay. All right, no sweat. Good to go on that? All right, let's get two more precepts. Okay. I definitely wanted far above rubies and Proverbs. Let me get Proverbs 31. And then yeah, Proverbs 31 is good. And then we'll move on to Valentine's Day, all right? Hey, Oscar, I got it. You couldn't find it?
I'm on the page right now that's on it, but I'm trying to find their names.
Okay. I got it right here. All right? Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Right. The Lord said, who can find a virtuous woman? And then this I'm gonna break the whole thing down, right? What does it mean to be virtue again? Skill and this context, skill also means goodness too. You understand? Skill, goodness, right? Keep going. So now the Lord said, who can find a virtuous woman, right? It's not easy to find a sister with some skills because because men only look for sisters with some ass. You understand? You ain't looking for so much skill. But there's women with both. You should look for skills in a woman, though, not what she has on the outside, because now you're just gonna get some ass, and that's it. You understand? Keep going.
For her price is far above rubies.
Her price is far above rubies. And how do you know it is? How you know her price is far above rubies? Because look how men act over women. You feel what I'm saying? Men, listen, I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, I don't understand. These cats really, they like fight you over a woman. I ain't say woman, y'all understand, right? They'll shoot you over a woman. As I get older and I'm like, I understand that. Absolutely get that. I absolutely get why they did that. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you have a good woman, you don't want no other man to have her, and that's why it says far above rubies. It's far above the things that you can get on this world. Having a good woman and make you a better man. You feel what I'm saying? So having that, the Lord said it's far above ruby. It's far above gold. You think you want gold? You don't want no gold. If you did want gold, you want gold to get the woman. You get what I'm saying? You want some money. You don't want money for yourself. You want money so you can get a woman. You feel me? Like like if you're being real with yourself, like if eating a lot of food will get women, you will eat a lot of food. You get what I'm saying? If cutting your fingers off will get you women, you wouldn't have no fingers. Go ahead.
Like, sir, I just want to make a quick comment. I know I forgot exactly where it's in the Apocrypha when it's three men go to the king. And then
That's that
discuss
precept.
it.
No, go ahead.
And then, like you said, like it was that example of it was I believe it was wine, and I forgot the other one, but it was also women, and they were explaining like the reason why brothers do all the things they do is like you said, it's for a woman.
Yeah,
like, we don't do it for us. Like I think you actually went over it one class. You were saying like brothers that wear jewelry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't wear that for other brothers. We
No.
wear that for women, so they can look at us.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point. So the Lord said, who can find a virtuous woman, right? Because her price is far above rubies. Right? Keep going. I'll score. If you don't mind, go ahead.
Verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her.
And in having a virtuous woman, the heart of her husband safely trusts in her. Like, if you have a good woman, you ain't never worried about who she's talking to or who she's with or who she's around, because she is a good woman. You understand? Like, she's a sister that you can fully trust in and not be like, where you at? What are you doing? Let me go through your phone. Who is this? You don't gotta do that with her. Now, women and other women, some cats might go crazy because the moment you leave, she's talking to another brother. You feel what I'm saying? You can never trust that type of woman. But if you have this woman, you don't have to worry about that. And then having that, you don't have to have the stress of being married and thinking that she's about to have sex with another man. If you're thinking she's gonna have sex with another man, it's probably because she is. You understand? It's probably because she is. It's probably because she's going to. And that's something that you have to deal with because that's the woman you picked. You picked a woman that you want to have sex with, and she's a woman who has sex with a lot of men. You understand? You don't want that type of woman. You got to pick a woman who your heart can safely trust in, right? Go ahead.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
Right. So he have no need of spoil. Go ahead. But meaning what? What does that mean? That he have no need of spoil. If you have if your heart safely trusts in a woman, so you have no need of spoil. What does that mean? That was a precept before, right?
That's from verse 11.
Okay.
I was gonna say, so that he shall have no need of spoil, like he's not worried about anything. Like he already he trusts her enough that he knows that when he's not around her, she's still gonna behave accordingly. Doesn't have to worry about stuff.
But what does spoil mean, though?
In this context,
That he had no need of spoil. Read the line before. Not just that one more time.
Verse 11. The heart of her husband thou safely trust in her.
That he then read.
So that he shall have no need of spoil.
What's that mean? Not just that.
So he trusts in her, so he has no need of spoil. Is that pretty much like saying he has no need to look for anything else?
No. The brother still might look for something else. Right. Brother have a perfect woman right in front of him. He still, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what that means. Go ahead.
Is that pretty much saying like he doesn't have the desire to need to be wealthy to impress her?
Okay. Oh, you want it. You want it. Kraza?
I was gonna say that he doesn't. He's confident in her. Like he doesn't have to worry about. I don't want to say like overdoing it, but like he's just like I would say content with being happy being with his wife.
Yeah. Okay. I get. But just combine what you and Dr. Zach said, right? Spoil can be vices in this context, right? Like a vice would be like this cat. Okay. There's nothing in him to want to be evil. Think about it like that. Think deeply about what I mean by evil. Right? What does it mean by evil? He ain't buying no prostitutes. You get what I'm saying? He's not being no child molester. He's not doing the things that'll make you an evil man because she's such a good woman. Go ahead.
So in this context, spoil is like he's content. Is that what you said?
Yeah, like he's content. He doesn't have a vice. You get what I'm saying? Some cats might be married to a woman and they become lustful so much over another woman. You get what I mean? They become so lustful over another woman. With this woman, he don't need that. You understand? He don't need to spoil. Go ahead.
Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
Right. Keep going. She'll do him good and not evil all the days of her life. So now you want to look of a role of a woman. So a lot of women, they'll say, they'll be like, if I had this type of man, I would be this type of woman. No, you wouldn't. That's a lie. The man that you with, you should treat like that. You feel what I mean? Now I get it. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. He's this, he's that. That's your man though, regardless. You can't change a man. Let me show you how you can change a man by being a righteous woman. You understand? If your sister takes on the tune of being righteous towards even an unrighteous brother, it might change when to be a righteous brother. You get what I'm saying? So many women who come into the truth, they'll come into the truth and their man be in the world, and then they'll come into the truth and they'll start treating him how we teach women to treat their man, and then the brother comes in the truth. How many times that happened? So many times. You get what I mean? So many times women come in here from the world, and then brothers in the world, and then they come in here, and then the brother follows her after maybe a year later. You know what I'm saying? Be sometimes, but they'll come in here. We got a couple officers right now. You feel what I'm saying? We had one officer, his woman brought him into the truth. And as soon as he came an officer, she passed away. She died. You know what I mean? It's like her whole mission was in life was to get him in here. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Those things happen though, right? Keep going.
Verse 14. It's like it. Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax.
It's like we're good to go on that, all right? Y'all understand, right? Last one. Okay, let's get into Valentine's Day. Everybody good on that topic? Any questions on that topic? No sweat. All right, boom. Let's get into Valentine's Day, all right? Anybody know the history of Valentine's Day? I just know.
I know some of it. I know it was about 500 Greeks, like Spartans, Romans, and really it was about homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was when their belief was if they were to have sex with the man that like they were going to war with, they would have like a better bond, something like that. And I forgot who it was, but he killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
Took the heart and gave it to his gay lover in a sense.
Right.
So that the heart heart shape is really like the symbol of like abundance.
There you go. All right, y'all understand. He gave it to you a little bit. I'll give it to you. The names was, I got it right here: Lucius Veronis and Titus Poyo. Right? Go ahead, Oscar. The water. The water. You understand? The two names were Lucius Veronis and Titus Poyo. Right? These two cats were like they were gay lovers, homosexual lovers. Right? And you got to understand in Rome, it's full with homosexuality. You understand? Y'all get that, right? Full of homosexuality, and they promote homosexual love. You feel me? That's why you have like in that time, like in today's time right now, you have locker rooms, men with locker rooms with no dividers. You know what I'm saying? Or showers with no dividers. You know what I mean? Like that's promoted because of what the Greeks did back in time. You feel me? Back in time, they would promote nakedness, in hopes that you will fall in love, find love, or fall in love, and fight harder for your brother. You know what I mean? That was the point. Go ahead.
So like they're hoping that you fall in love with
A man.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? You fall. Ain't no women in the army, in the military at that time, right? They had men. So if you fall in love with him, you'll fight harder. You know what I mean? So what happened was one of the cats got hurt during the war, got hurt, and the other one went to go kill his enemy and cut out his heart and gave it to his lover. You know what I mean? And when they got that, when that story got big, they promoted that. They promoted that story, and now you have people giving hearts to each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Valentine's Day is about giving a heart or a card to somebody else. Somebody, I love you, right? But that heart is even in transgression because it's actually an ass. If you want to draw a heart right now on the whiteboard, probably so. Is a marker over there? Marker's right here. You can can you turn the camera axis on? Or just bring it over there, or as close as you can. Yeah. John Muhammad broke this down for us years ago when I was like a trooper.
So like you got,
Go ahead.
if I could, sir, I have a bit of history touching on what you were saying earlier about how the Romans were kept, about the Romans, how them being soldiers, they weren't allowed to have women because it would make them better warriors. Like they would have less distractions. So it would just be men without wives.
There you go.
The ones that were in the room.
Can you take that off and then take the camera over there or no?
Yeah, the cord's connected.
Is there a zoom?
There should be.
It's just I gotta do it on the computer.
Nah, you zoom. Just take it as close as you can. I'll follow you with
Or it's like you just want to just draw a bigger heart.
Yeah, draw a bigger one and take it closer. I just want y'all to show it real quick. Right? We're gonna bring it right back here. You can erase all that. I want them to see this heart. Testing. All right, let's go back now. Can y'all hear now? Oh yeah, that's good. Solid. All right, look. So I'm gonna show y'all a picture, right? I'm gonna go back to that heart. So what we're talking about is the heart that you get on Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day, they tell you to give you a heart. This is an actual heart. This is a real heart. 1 second. This is a real heart. One's inside our body, right? That's a heart inside our body. This is a heart that they give you on Valentine's Day. Right? That's the heart that we live with. And it's similar to a star, right? You know how stars, how they draw stars today, and that's not really a star. A star is a ball of gas. So in the I want to say the 1700s, 1800s, they would give these hearts out, right? They would give these hearts out. It's like in the military. You ever see them cats with the heart tattoo? They just have the heart tattoo with the arrow in it. You know what that symbolizes?
I know they get it from. I can't remember exactly what it symbolizes.
Cross out.
Butt pierced.
Damn, I ain't hear that.
Actually, I have heard that before.
Well, nah, that's not where it originated from. Anybody know? Nazar?
The tattoo or the actual sign?
The tattoo.
I don't know.
They would get the tattoo of a heart with a cross in it. Like, I mean, not a cross, an arrow. Okay, it comes from letting everyone know that you're a man. Like, if you're a man, you would have this tattoo. And it symbolizes that you had sex. That you're a man, you had sex. You get what I'm saying? That's where it comes from, right? So they don't know it today. If you got a heart, that's not probably why you got it. But during that early in the times, that's what they got it for, right? So when you were 16, 17 years old, and before you got married, it was custom for these white men to take their son to go to a whorehouse. You know what I mean? And you can't be like, oh yeah, come to the whorehouse. You can't say that on a sign at like a club, right? You would have to put the heart sign. You feel what I'm saying? That heart sign, because now you're saying this is where the ass is at. So now I'm gonna show you a picture of a heart. Right? You see this picture of a heart right here? That picture of a heart? That's an ass. Use your imagination. You know what I'm saying? That's an ass. That's cheeks on the right and the left. And these is coming down to a woman's area, and that is the crack of her ass. You understand? That's what they did, man. Like the whole thing is about erotic sex. You know what I'm saying? That's what eros means, meaning Cupid, right? Eros meaning erotic sex. Somebody look it up. Go ahead, Dr. Zach.
They use that sign, the heart you just showed. They use that. They put that prostitutes put that on the door for sailors.
There you go. When pirates would come up, they'd be away from home. You know what I'm saying? They want to have sex with a woman. That's what it is. They let the pirates know, hey, where we at? Pirate sailors, we right here. That's where the whorehouse is at. Right.
Isn't it kind of like how similar how the LGBTQ community have a flag? You know what I'm saying? They'll just
let you know where the homosexuals is at. Huh? Right. I mean, we was in San Francisco, and we listen. We're like, San Francisco is notorious for white homosexuals, right? We're in San Francisco having a camp. We all taking a picture. We took a picture. God damn, I don't even want to say it. I'm gonna say it though. We took the picture, and I didn't even realize behind us was a goddamn homosexual flag right behind us. I said, "Damn!" I had to crop it out and all that. I'm like, "That's crazy." But that's where the land where the homosexuals at. Go ahead.
I have the definition for eros.
Mm-hmm.
Spoke of.
Eros. Go ahead. Eros is what Cupid is. Cupid and Eros is the same thing. You understand? Go ahead.
So it says definition of eros, the Greek god of erotic love.
The Greek god of what love?
Erotic love.
Somebody look up erotic. What erotic means? I know y'all know what it means. Erotic is, somebody look it up real quick so we can break it down. The Greek god of erotic love.
Erotic, out of Merriam-Webster,
Mm-hmm.
of devoted to or trending to arouse sexual love or desire.
And that's the point, man. That's the love they promote. You feel what I'm saying? The love they promote ain't about a commitment to each other and love forever. And being together until you die, the love they promote is sexual. You feel me? It's a sexual love that they promote so you can have a good time. It ain't about loving, your wife. So when you go celebrate Valentine's Day on is it Monday? Monday. Monday, right? When you go celebrate Valentine's Day on Monday, you're not celebrating your love between you and her. I know you take it as he got me chocolates, he got me this. The spirit behind it is getting something so you can give them something. And it's similar to what they did with whorehouse.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Y'all understand, right? And it's similar. So you're giving her chocolates and flowers and a teddy bear in turn so you can get vagina. Y'all understand? When them pirates came off them ships, they was giving them whores money, coins, so they can get vagina. You understand? You're perpetuating and doing the same thing you've been doing forever, and that's the spirit behind it. Now give me Ezekiel 16 and 33. And this is why you don't allow your children, if you have children, listen, let them stay home that day. You understand? Right, we got you.
They giving the kids the day off on Monday.
Oh yeah?
To celebrate Valentine's Day.
You get a day off, man. Most High Christ. Hey, that's shit. That's what's up. But those days, like when it's like that and your child is young, they're not strong enough to fight that because kids are kids. You know what I mean? You got to teach them, of course, and if they take the teaching, they won't do it. But it's tough for a child to go in there and try to even understand, you know what I mean, what's going on. Just take your child out of school that day. You know what I mean? Take them to the movies. Go ahead.
They passing out hella candy.
Yeah, candy is like, what? Daddy, I don't know the history. You're talking about hearts and I want some Reese's. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take your kids out of school, or you know what I mean. You have older kids, of course. You know they know better, but you gotta teach your kids that. What was we at?
Us.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Isaiah, what you got?
Oh no, I was gonna read it.
Go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead and read it.
Oh, okay, come. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
They give gifts to all whores.
One more time.
They give gifts to all whores.
If you're getting a gift, you're a whore. I'm sorry. Listen, your mother might get a gift. Your mother might be a whore, man. Might be her 5th, 6th, 7th, 27th man that gave her something different. You feel what I mean? You don't want you don't want to do this, man. You don't be a part of what America tells you. You know what I'm saying? America is always gonna tell you when to love your woman especially. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna tell your woman when to love. Listen, I'm trying to tell you right now, there's whores right now in the world right now that has a second man lined up. Right? They got that second man lined up if you don't come through. There's a lot of women on Monday gonna come to find out that they're the side woman too. Y'all understand, right? Because she is not gonna be with you that day. You're gonna realize that been lied to, right? Because cats lie in the world, right? They lie all the time, right? So they've been lied to, and you're the side woman because he's gonna be with his main woman. Same reason why he just keeps seeing for Thanksgiving. You understand? You should know that by now, right? So you're gonna find out all these things come Monday. You're gonna find these things out, but really you should not be celebrating. Listen, all these holidays destroy Black and Hispanic people. It's a destroy Black and Hispanic people, man. We'll get into a few more too. Give me Ezekiel 9, Ecclesiastes 9 and 9. If y'all got any precepts too, y'all can pull out. Y'all let me know. All right?
Come. So like I said, I didn't have a precept. I just want to make a quick comment, which you just brought up was heavy. Like, Valentine's Day, like a lot of sisters, they get depressed because someone, like, they find out either they a side chick, or they don't got a man at all.
Oh, you don't got a man. Oh.
Yeah, so I get, like, if I pay, like, this was like years ago, and there was a sister at my slave, and come Valentine's Day, and it was like real sad to watch because the sister didn't have a man. The sister didn't have a man, so she tried to lie, and she came to work with like all these cupcakes, and she was lying, saying that her man got it for her, but she didn't have a man. She bought it for herself to make it seem like she had a man. This was Valentine's Day, so it was just like Salakia, that shit was depressing.
She slept with that imaginary man too. She slept with him. She went home and cuddled up with that imaginary man. I'm not laughing because a woman don't got a man. I'm laughing that a woman gets so depressed over not getting some chocolates. I mean, damn. Cats is giving women chocolates they don't even like. You get what I'm saying? You're getting played. You're getting played into the vagina that you're about to give up for some chocolates. That's how cheap your vagina is. You know what I mean? I get some chocolate for $9.99. You get some flowers from an Esquire brother off the street. You feel what I'm saying? You know, Esquires be hustling for them flowers. They like cost 20. I got 10. Go ahead, give me 10. I'll take the 10. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it is, and that's all it takes to get what you have. So be it. A lot of brothers gonna be, man. Listen, they gonna be getting have a lot of sex on Monday. Go ahead.
So a lot of sisters on this day, just like a lot of brothers would do too, they just have sex because just to have sex in the spirit of it's Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, you go pay $20 worth of stuff, and that's you get vagina. You could. You can't tell me you didn't just get no vagina for $20. That's exactly what it is. You feel what I'm saying? You gave her $20. She gave him the box. Simple, right? Give me Ecclesiastes 9:9.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine.
So hold that right quick, right? Regalia, can you give me adultery in the book of Leviticus? Thou shalt not commit adultery, right? Read it again for the top of it.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9, verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife.
Sit not at all with another man's wife, man. Listen. Don't do that. Y'all know what this means, right? You go ahead, Isa.
Oh, so like I was going to answer the question.
Go ahead.
You know, like this is saying like, well, like you don't want to be like talking to another brother's wife, like prolonging a conversation, or
there you go.
Like you said, Salakia, if I may, also with the wine, like you don't want to get drunk with another man's rib.
Yeah, for sure. You sit there, you laughing and just imagine. This is not the culture in here. Y'all understand that? The culture in here is not to we family. Like I have sisters in here that will lay our life down for. But I also haven't sat here and had a drink with them either. Y'all understand? Like that ain't this ain't that. This ain't the culture in this place to sit and have a drink with another man's woman. You get what I mean? And have a good time and be in her face. That's not how we show our love. You understand? We show our love by Shalom, how you doing? Most High in Christ, and that's that. How's the baby? I'm happy for you. That's everything is good. Y'all understand, right? You go. That's what you do with brothers in here, and that's what you do with your woman at home. Y'all with me, right? We don't show our love like that to our sisters, man, because that's Christian. Because what happens when you sit there and have a drink with a woman and prolong a conversation? You get what I'm saying? And you're drinking and you keep drinking and you keep drinking. You wake up with her. That's what happens. You understand? That's why the scriptures say don't do it. You're gonna wake up with her. You're gonna be like, oh, how did this happen? Because y'all both. This what happened. The alcohol demon allowed you to push it to where y'all both wanted it to go. Y'all understand? That's why you don't sit here and drink with another man's woman. It's not brotherly. And some brothers, they'll look at you like, why is he talking to my wife for 30 minutes? God damn. Like, she about to get chewed out in this car. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, how funny is the nigga? You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. Like you should teach your woman that. She should know better. Brothers for sure should know better. But a woman should know as well. You feel what I mean? Ash.
Sir, if I could, sir, I was watching a class from Captain Yatazak in Texas, and he was bringing out how back in the day with Israel, we wouldn't sleep with another man's wife because that was adultery, but we would do things that were still wrong, and then that's why Christ came and said, if you look at another man's wife who's married, adultery because we would say, well, I'm not having sex with her, but I'm gonna think about it. Like I'm gonna think about having sex with her, so it's not a sin because I'm not literally sleeping with her.
Mm-hmm.
So he brought that out, so then that's coming to my mind right now as you're breaking it down. You know, it's real heavy because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you with another brother's sister, like you're saying, sir, eventually you're gonna
Another brother's wife.
Yeah, another brother's wife. You don't think about that. Like you be like, damn, like you gonna start imagining her. You know what I'm saying?
Those things we avoid. You know what I'm saying? You don't. That's why we don't have those type of relationships with a brother's wife. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if I'm gonna be with a brother's wife, he's right there next to her. You feel what I'm saying? He's with her. Go ahead.
It's like good. I remember General Muhammad was breaking this down as well. He was talking about like those little work husbands.
Hold on. Let me get into that. Go ahead, Carson. That's like it.
The little work husbands you got, or the little work wives you got. You know what I'm saying? Or the dude that just takes you home, drives you home from work every day, or he was breaking out like many different scenarios. You know, it's a lot of different scenarios. The little, what's it called? The little sneaky link, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
These type of things is what this precept is talking about.
You talking about that today?
No, not today.
Oh, okay. Nah, absolutely. You get what I mean? But your woman got a work husband. Let him get married to him. You get what I'm saying? Let it be done. Like that's ridiculous. 1 second. You got that precept out? Go ahead. Any more on that? Oh, so like, let's finish it. Go ahead.
Lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
One more time. So like,
lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
You understand, right? Through your desire, you're gonna fall into destruction. You don't want to do that, man. You don't want to do that. Don't sit there and talk to a woman and have a drink with her and talk to her and just, let her confide in you and she's all vulnerable and you just a predator. That's a predator, by the way. You're being a predator. You're just sitting there letting a woman be vulnerable and you're like, well, maybe you just think because you're lustful. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
It's like as if I could. Gentleman, I was also saying, like when you're in sin, if you have a worker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you got a man and you looking at him in a desirable way and you're married, you're in sin. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? The point is to never make a woman feel like she's uncomfortable around you. You understand? Don't ever let a woman don't ever have a woman feel like you're an uncomfortable person because you don't have discipline. You feel what I mean? You always want to have discipline. Always want to have discipline. Not with just that, with everything. You understand? I just
it's like I was gonna make a quick comment, like what you said, like okay, like being a predator, like obviously like you brought up earlier, like sisters, they weren't given like the wisdom. Like they might be book smart, but they're not street smart, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They don't have the wisdom. And a lot of sisters today, especially like some of them is whores, obviously. But then you got sisters who they're just gullible, and some sisters like to argue like, oh well, you can have like she can have a man, but she can have guy friends. And of course, like
guy friends?
Concerts.
Most
They try to say that, and then like some sisters I just be trying to explain it like that's not your friend.
Yes.
He's waiting for his opportunity to sleep with you.
Oh, a lot of sisters say that. A lot of sisters say, I get along with guys more than women because women are messy and women are this. And I just think in my head like, damn, she blew his ride. She blew his ride. His ride. You know what I mean? But they're friendly. You know what I'm saying? They're friendly. I don't need to know. Okay, like any brother who allows his woman to have male friends, you know what I'm saying? It's that's on the brother. But our woman can't have no male friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She ain't about to have no male friends. What you need male friends for? I'll be your friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The hell you need male friends for? And if a woman fighting for a male friend, that's how you know you shouldn't be with her. You know what I mean? Like if you talking to a sister and you got male friends, okay, if you go with me, you gotta stop talking. You can't have no male friends. And she's like, well, they've been my friend for 10 years, and all right, no sweat. Hey, and keep them. I'm gonna go though. You get what I'm saying? Male friends are really guys you had sex with since high school. You get what I'm saying? Some women be like, "Well, I never had sex with one of my male friends." Not yet.
Right. Exactly.
Not yet. You get what I'm saying? Just wait. Just wait. It'll come. So yeah, male friends is a no. That ain't the culture that I should behave as a man. You understand? That's very worldly for a woman to have male friends. Like, what are you gonna call them up and hang out just you two? I don't get that. I don't get how that works. And any woman friend I had sex with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it is, right? Any other questions on this topic? Right? What time is it up? 9. All right, good to go. All right, with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Preaching Officer Oscar Ward.
Israel, Elijah, stand in the Hebrew. We're going to Sar, it's turn. Sar face the teacher. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Elijah Shabbat, Elijah, Barak,
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yani Matad dismissed.
Oh shit, it's in the car. I didn't drive. Oh shit. I got it. Finish.
Yeah.